Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for checking out Four Downs in the DMV with Presto and the Big Chee. We are previewing, Dave, it's week 7 of the college football season already. We are starting to feel it out here in Washington, D.C. We got the wind kicking up.
People are going from apple picking to pumpkin picking.
That will be me Saturday after our first down, Rutgers, Maryland, which you can check Dave and I out. We'll be covering that all afternoon Saturday on WTOP. Dave, it's homecoming in College Park. The Terrapins are 24-point favorites. How do you see it going against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights?
That is a huge number. 24-point favorite for Maryland, although Rutgers, I think, is French for last place in the Big Ten. Scarlet Knights are currently ranked last in the conference in scoring, yards gained, stopping the run, getting off the field on third down, as well as offensive and defensive passing efficiency. They're not good. Maryland should win this game. What I hope to see Saturday is the passing game open up a little bit. Granted, they're probably going to be playing with the lead for most of the time, but the issue this season for Maryland has been their wide receivers haven't gotten a lot of great separation, with the exception of the Texas game. They haven't been able to get a lot done. Hopefully we'll see a little bit of that this Saturday. I think they're just going to get an early lead and run the clock out. Although we've seen stranger things happen, I see them covering the number, albeit a 24-point number.
Yeah, Chris Ash in year 3 at Rutgers, you would think that the program, but when you're competing in the Big Ten, Dave, this for expectations. You're going to have to be going up with the big boys of Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State. These are not the old American Athletic Conference foes.
Even the little boys of Maryland. Raheem Blackshear is the one Rutgers guy that you need to keep your eye on. He leads the Scarlet Knights in rushing and receiving. If the Terrapin defense, which is much improved this season, if they can keep him in check, it's going whatever minimal hopes they had will be even more minimal. Minimalist, whatever.
Well, whatever. We know that Dave absolutely nailed his prediction last week of Air Force beating Navy. Dave, thank you for that pick. You made me look good. I was hyping that one. Navy does not look like Navy of the past couple of years here, Dave. They are a 7-point dog at home against Temple. Temple, they beat Maryland, albeit when Maryland was missing a couple key offensive tackles. What's up with this Temple team? Are they going to go into Annapolis and win by more than 7?
Well, second down and long, I guess, for the 4 downs. There's been no school that has been more confusing this fall than Temple. First they go out, they lose to Villanova, an FCS school. They lose to Buffalo, a school that should be probably playing in the FCS. They're in the MAC, and they come into College Park and just roll over the Terrapins. Granted, there were some injuries, but they dominated that game from tip to buzzer. Then they wind up allowing 45 points to Boston College before dominating in their win over East Carolina. Navy has been consistent this year. They've consistently been able to run the ball. They rank second in FBS, over 300 yards per game, but they haven't been able to throw the ball worth a lick. And that is going to, in the past, they've been able to use that as kind of a mixer, as kind of a way to spice up and keep the other defenses honest. They haven't been able to do that this year, and it's going to be to their detriment. Defensively, Navy's been consistent, but in the wrong way. They haven't been able to stop anybody with any regularity, including Lehigh, which is an FCS school. I see Temple coming into Annapolis and winning this one.
By more than 7 points.
Yes.
Okay, there you have it. Let's go to third down now, where we've got the U, 6.5-point favorites taking on UVA. Dave, this one was close last year until about halftime. They were when Miami was making their run, which we thought maybe could be to the college football playoff. Almost got a scare with Kurt Benkert and UVA. No more Kurt Benkert for the Hoos this year. Do you think UVA as a 6.5-point dog can cover this spread?
I think so, because even though Bryce Perkins is a heck of a quarterback and Jordan Ellis can get things done on the ground and Alamade Zacchaeus is a guy who can stretch secondaries,
yes, he can.
Miami, they do have the best defense in the ACC. And they're tops in sacking the quarterback. If they can keep Perkins kind of on his heels, they'll find a way to limit the Cavaliers. I think UVA could have used a third week to prepare for the Hurricanes. I'm always wary about picking Miami because they're the classic hurricane warning that you then have to downgrade them into a tropical storm. I don't see that happening this year, or at least this week.
That's what you had to do when they played LSU, a team that I thought they were going to beat. And LSU, another team, that's a huge game they've got this weekend. I watched that one against Florida. 2 SEC schools doing battle. And Florida, Dave, I think is a team that is on the way back. It's nice to see them I don't know if you were a Tim Tebow guy.
I was a Shane Matthews guy. What do you mean?
There you go. All right.
There was a guy, Wayne Peace, and they nicknamed the team the Peace Corps.
Shane Matthews.
Way back. Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that name in a while. Virginia Tech, 6-point favorite at UNC. Virginia Tech I thought expected loss to Notre Dame last week. Do they bounce back against a North Carolina team that is not very good this year?
Well, despite allowing 40 points twice this season, Virginia Tech's in the driver's seat in the Coastal Division. They control their own path to the championship game. North Carolina, meanwhile, is maybe not in the driver's seat, securely underneath the wheels of the Coastal. 1-3, their only win came against Pitt. For whatever reason, UNC matches up really well against Pitt. That was the only Power 5 school that they beat last year, I believe. Defensively, they haven't been able to do much. UNC also, they turn the ball over more than anyone else in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Ryan Willis, despite starting off the season as the backup, has thrown for 300 yards in back-to-back weeks. Notre Dame, last week he threw 300 yards against UNC is no UND. And I see Virginia Tech rolling in this one.
Absolutely. All right, so we got Virginia Tech covering the 6 points.
6 is a small number.
For a team that Virginia Tech really isn't very bad. We were talking about them as a potential contender for, again, a playoff spot early.
They do have defensive hiccups, but they shouldn't have them against the Tar Heels.
All right.